afternoon. It is our 3 p.m. Today is Tuesday, so we have 30 minutes to cover a campaign question related to tariff. And a lot of people are not clear about tariff. And they're thinking the tariff is a tax that President candidate Trump want to charge to the other country. So it has nothing to do with USA, and we should just sit around and watch how we collect the money and things will go just fine. Let's break that down into concept. Let me explain to you from accountant's standpoint. And obviously, before that, we introduced to you of our channel. What you're looking at right now, it is our YouTube channel. And you can always look at all of our webinars here. So if you just type in the keyword under the magnified glasses right here, you see right here, then you can type in the word and you'll find all the related videos. So a trick to find your video fast. We have over 1,200 videos, so it's quite a bit. This is our website, folks, and you can come over here to onboard with us anytime you want it. And you can make an appointment with us anytime you want it. And obviously, you can pay the invoice any amount you want to pay. I'm just kidding. You got the bill and you pay the invoice, right? So we also have portals and for our client in general, and also for payroll processing only. Like if you do payroll service with us, and you will use the payroll portal. All right, let me share with you the PowerPoint that I prepared for today's talk. So this is our topic. How tariff affect you and your business. So about our firm, we talked about it, and I want to impress you with a couple numbers here. We have more than 12,000 clients, and we have 5 branches in 3 different states. And we also speak 10 different languages inside of our firm. Quite a few. We have about 40 professionals, but a lot of us are first generation of immigrant, and we speak collectively 10 different languages here in our firm. I myself, I am the CEO and a managing partner for the firm. I served on the IRS Advisory Committee via National Taxpayer Advocacy Panel for 3 years. So I have that fair amount of knowledge about IRS. And here is where our branches are. So you can see 3 in the Midwest, and then we have Houston, Texas, and as well as the Capitola, California. Now, these 2 books are the book already published. I am the author for the 2 books, the 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. My 3rd book is 2 p.m. That one is focused on expanding your business. So I'm trying to do 4 books series, 8, 10, 2, and 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is repurpose of your life, retiring from your business, right? So these are the 4 representing the business owner's journey from beginning to transition. So let's hope that I finish the 3rd book quickly, because I want to make sure that our Houston, Texas branch goes really well before I finish my 3rd book, right? The 3rd book is 2 p.m. for expansion. Obviously, I need to, not only from our client, I learn how to tell you to expand, but also from my own experience to share with you that how to expand. So give you that real hands-on experience rather than you going doing error and trial and error, which is sometimes is too costly. All right, so no responsibility disclaimer, and what we are talking about is our research, our opinions, our suggestions, because it is a free webinar, so there is no responsibility for how you utilize our knowledge here, right? What is tariff? What is tariff? A tariff is a type of taxes. It's a type of tax levied by a country on the imported items at the border. So in another word, as we are American, so tariff means it's a tax we charge at our border to the merchandise coming into our country, and we can tax them very targetedly. We can say all the things coming from China, we're going to tax high. So tariff is a man-made, is a politician, is a president-made taxes trying to stop the imported item to come in. Or if they lower tariff, that means to encourage it to come in, right? It's a mean to accomplish something. Tariff has historically been a tool for government to collect revenue. So they want to make a lot of money. So it is also a way for government to try to protect domestic producer, right? If I am growing avocados here in U.S., I don't want to get avocados from Mexico, and we're gonna put tariff on it and make it very expensive. So they can, so when the avocado comes in at a Hy-Vee, you're not gonna see them to be 50 cents each. It's gonna be $5 each because tariff is already being charged on it. So that's the idea. It is one thing I want folks to understand, small business owners. I want you to know that tariff is not just U.S. has it. Other countries also can do. And a tariff is a mutual tax between countries. You give some, I give some. And you draw some, I draw some. It is literally like a water on the field. It's gonna level. If we raise tariff on the good coming into U.S. and say stopping from China, this tariff war between China and U.S. started in 2018, right? So we stop things from China to come in. Then Chinese government can also do the same. They stop U.S. goods to go into China as well. This is where a lot of our farmers are out of business because their farm produce so heavily relying on exporting. It is taxed so heavily, and the other country, nobody buys it. So it is stopping the exchange, right? Have U.S. win any tariff wars in the past? So let's talk about 1930s Tariff Act, which is called Smoot-Hawley Act. This is one of the most failing policy in U.S. history. While it aimed to protect American agriculture and industry, it is widely criticized for aggregating the Great Depression at the time. By the way they did it is to provoking, penalizing tariff tax to other countries. So which led to significant decline in international trade. The act did not yield a victory for U.S. And however, it is cited nowadays as a lesson learned. That's the history of tariff. The recent trade war is China and United States 2018 to today. So former President Trump put that in place. And Biden came into White House, did not make any change. So the war continues. The most recent significant trade conflict begins in 2018. Under President Donald Trump, he imposed tariff on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods. The intention was to address the imbalance because we buy more, the U.S. buy more than what China buy. So he's trying to balance that and force China to change their practice. And regarding two things, intellectual property theft and a forced technology transfer. But these, never mind, it never gone through. It never did anything to China. But what it did do is to bring inflation right to our doorways. And we are in it. We are experiencing it. However, the research by economists in U.S. says that this trade war between China and the U.S. harmed both nations. And with the U.S. tariff leading to the highest price for consumers and reduced profit for American companies. So this is where there is a professor, his last name is Douglas Ivans from Dartmouth College. And he used an analogy, I thought it was so good to understand the tariff. And he said, like if you have a dog and the city gonna impose, say, a dog tax. They say whoever have a dog pay $15 a month. Pretend that's the case. So yes, it's a tax on dog. But who pays for it? Dog is not gonna pay for it. It's the business owner who pays it, right? I mean the dog owner who pays for it. So it is a dog owner pays for the tax. Same thing, this tariff, it is on Chinese merchandise. It's the dog. But our American business is the owner of that dog. So they are going to pay. So the people who buying things needed for their business, they still have to buy, so they pay. And when they made more cost on their cost of goods sold, what happens to the next? The consumer. You, me, and the small business that you got no say of the price, and when next time you go to the restaurant, and instead of paying $7 per meal, and suddenly it becomes $17. If you ask the business restaurant owner, why are you raising the price? They go, well, you know, the stuff we buy is so expensive anymore, and I have to raise my price. So where do they buy the stuff? They buy from those companies who importing, exporting things from other country. So those, a chain reaction coming to your front door. So trade war, impact on U.S. Consumer cost, we talked about this. American consumer has observed the hit of the tariffs already through the increase of the price on imported goods. Study estimate that U.S. company pay nearly $46 billion due to tariffs, leading to a lower profit margin and a higher price for consumers. So talk about where the inflation comes about, right? This has affected our daily life. Job losses and wage stagnation. The trade war had resulted in job loss and wage stagnation just across the board. It's not even just one sector of business, but particularly for agriculture and manufacturing are that way right now. American Farm Bureau reported that the farmers lost significant market share in China, amounting to billions of dollars losses. Overall, it is estimated that hundreds and thousands of jobs were lost as a direct consequences of tariff. So didn't we got promised that, oh, if we raise tariff and other people pays for it, and then we're gonna have more jobs because we're gonna produce it ourselves. Didn't we hear that promise? That is a promise coming from a kindergartners who hasn't even studied economics. And the manufacturing declining is a fact in U.S. That trade deficit has contributed to the stagnation in U.S. manufacturing, with many companies deferring expansion, wage increase due to the wage increase due to increased operational cost streaming from tariff. Everything is chain reacted. So we are not helping, and we are declining, not because we didn't put in more tariff tax. It is because we put in that. Because other countries can do the same to us. So back in the 60s, it is Britain is the tariff war. We are with Britain. And now we're with China. So none of these wars had resulted in some booming economies, and it didn't really work the way that we were promised. Just in 6 months' time, after former President Trump enacted tariff 6 months' time. In 6 months' time, more pain than gain. That is the article published, and they estimated the loss by numbers for us. So this was a trigger coming in. And on top of that was COVID. So we went into economic downturns. So that is where you have economists who coming in to say that this kind of tariff, it is not doing good, even though at time President Trump claimed that trade wars are good and easy to win for USA. But the ultimate result of trade deal between China and United States that preceded it have significant hurt American economy. All right. So as concluded by this journalist, Heather Long at Washington Post, U.S. economy growth slowed, business investment froze, and the company did not hire as many people. Across the nation, a lot of farmers went bankrupt, and the manufacturers and the freight transportation sectors have hit low, not seen since last recession. Trump's action amounted to one of the largest tax increase in years. So he raised the tariff and resulted in manufacturing, freight transportation, farmers nationwide decline. So just in 6 months' time. Small business impacted. Material shortage, have you heard of that? In fact, when we set up the Houston, Texas office, and we always ordered our office furniture from a local distributor called Piggott. And when we went to Piggott to order, and it's such a shortage that we want to order in April, and the promise is that it may be showing up in October. So that is tariff. That is what's happening, and because those parts, some of the parts they sell, it is actually from China. At that time, the tax is so high, it doesn't even make any sense to do that, to import. Then what happened? They just don't have it. Then you sit around, wait. So what did we do as a small business? Can we wait for 10 months to get furniture so we can start a business? No. We just have to change our supplier. We always did it with this type of furnitures. Now we change to another type of furnitures. May not be the best, and maybe those furnitures is going to be terminated soon as well, because this is just the leftover materials they're luckily have for the time being. So material shortage. Ordinary item price increase inflation shows at the cashier's counter. You know that when you go to buy avocados, and there's tariff for that as well. So those are the things coming in as an impact to small businesses and owners. Importing, exporting business, it is impacted, okay? And equally impacted, because if you can't import properly, then the country who you raise tariff tax, they also know how to raise their tax as well. So if you stop things coming in, other people will stop things from you going into their country. So the loss is not one-sided. The gain is not one-sided. And plus we didn't have any gain, and we just lose, and we lose more. Farmers lost demand of purchase. So many Iowa farmers and their soybeans, the largest purchase is coming from the contract with China. With tariff, the Chinese government can stop. I don't know Chinese government, what they do. I don't study what they do. I'm just sitting here telling you that government has right to raise their tariff any way they want it. Do you think China has the fastest way to raise the tariff tax, or U.S. does? In our country, we go through Congress, we go through procedures, and in China, maybe such a procedure would be a lot faster. Would you imagine? That is why dictatorship obviously has attractions to politicians. But is that dictatorship is what we wanted? So this is where so many things that as a business owner, we need to understand it. We need to choose what is our next ticket we're going to vote for. And entitles, and the entities like a nonprofit organization, they're fostering culture exchange and culture understanding. These businesses are slowing down, right? They may not even have fundings, for the future. If tariff is high, exchange is stopping, and look at the college town. The college town, like the cities around, cities surrounded with the college, those are slowing down, right? Because there's no more foreign students, and enrollment suffered a lot because we stopped buying things, and we also stopped exporting things. So economics is going down, and both sides of populations don't have enough money to send anybody going around. So economy is not like you hit me and that be it. I hurt and you run away. Economy is an impact that happens on both ends. As long as countries existed, so whatever we do, it is not going to be paid by China. It is going to be paid by us. Just like the wall we have in the southern border, I don't think it was paid by Mexico. It was paid by us. Okay? So everything we do, and I want our thinking to be logical. Trump's double down tariff war. So instead of coming to know, okay, 2018, tariff did these things already, instead of knowing that, and Trump actually doubling down, right? So the one of the things Trump has mentioned just last week, and he would increase tariff tax by 200% on John Deere's if they dare to produce manufacturing parts in Mexico. So when those parts come in, and he will put in 200% tariff on it. What does that do to John Deere? John Deere would have to raise their price for the lawnmowers we're buying. So what does that do to you? And that just means that you will be the one paying for it. And it is doubling down tariff will just make economic going worse. Tariff war will slow down U.S. economy worse. It will cut off the technology advancement of U.S. as we will continue. So what tariff war does for us is that we continue to build hammers we know how to build, and rather we will stop learning how to build the most advanced robot. Because you cut off economics exchange, you cut off product coming in. When you import, if you import some advanced technology from other country, and you actually learn, you know that this thing exists and we're going to do more, we're going to do better. So cutting off trade, cutting off country-to-country exchange, it is just like Cultural Revolution in China. China cut off 30 years, Cultural Revolution, no connection to Western world. Okay, what did that do to people? So China was producing hammers for 30 years without advancing, but outside of China, people already using electricities to do things like cooking, to do things like producing sauna with electricity. But here was in China at that time, the only cooking method they have is coals. But that is an effective cut down between knowledge exchange, trade exchange. The ideology of protecting domestic production is false. Tariff cannot protect productions in U.S. To the contrary, it will slow it down. It will just cut us off from knowing what advanced technology out there is, so we can be satisfied with just making hammers. U.S. wealth and productivity are coming from innovation and creativity, coming from education system where it attracts world talent to immigrant to this country. That is how we are here today. That is why we are here, being such a strong country, and we have always been great. And because of that, CNN News on Sunday, this was on Sunday, and it says that Trump threatened John Deere. It is just his latest attempt to bully the legendary American company. So what he said in there is that he doubled down on his promise to raise tariff even higher and to punish the machinery manufacturer John Deere for its plan to move some production to Mexico. Trump promised to tax anything John Deere try to export back into U.S. Means if his factory produces some parts in Mexico coming to U.S. to be assembled, he will do 20% tariff on that. He made that promise. And President Trump keep his promise. And I am very serious with every word he says because I know he meant it. Tariff war hurts small guys the most. Manufacturers lay off people. There are no buyers and no material to produce. Farmers closing the farm. Crops cannot be sold fast enough. Everyday food price go up. The source of food increase. And the small business doesn't last in college town because no foreign student even coming in. And the tariff that Trump imposed in his first term, there have been a lot of study already done, showed that almost a complete and 100% pass-through to consumer prices for U.S. users, for us, for you, for small business, 100%. That is why businesses cannot afford to absorb this tariff, and they just pass them on to you. Make sense? So, do not believe tariff is a tax that China gonna pay. No. Tariff imposed by us to Chinese product, we are the one, you are paying for it. So I did not make it up. This is from Business Insider 6 hours ago. A researcher who studied Trump's plan to control Fed and increase tariff said that it would tank economy. So this week, a report from Peterson Institute for International Economics concludes that Trump's main tariff proposal, assuming that the targeted countries retaliated with their own tariff and would slash U.S. economy down, increase inflation. Then there also the Douglas Ivan, a professor of economics at Dartmouth College, and he said Trump says that the foreign country would pay for the tariff. As a technical matter, it is paid by U.S. companies. Clear? So he used the analogy of dog and dog tax, which I mentioned to you earlier. All right, so we are 6 weeks, am I right? We are 6 weeks away from November 5th, Tuesday. And I use the following Tuesday to talk about policies, talk about what come out of the internet, what you should know. So we talked about bankruptcy, and today we talk about tariff, which is a big topic because I even have clients who are in importing, exporting business was telling me how much suffering they have right now, and they're questioning why Biden administration did not do anything, even if the 2018 tariff act that Trump presidency brought up and it didn't work already, why they are not doing anything. Very good question. That's why you have Harris, not Biden, running for presidency, right? So these are basic knowledge as a business person you want to understand. And if you say you have not been impacted by tariff war between China and the US, and walking into any retail store and pick up anything and drill it down, see whether that is coming from China. If that is made from China or had a component from China, that price is already up. That is why same dollar don't buy the same thing anymore, because all the small businesses are the one paying for the big ego of tariff increase and letting other country pay. That's just technically wrong. They don't pay it. You pay for it. We pay for it. Just be very clear about that. All right. I'm done with this tariff talk, and this is our partners in the firm. Trust me, when I do these talk, I didn't really run by them to see who agrees or not agrees. That's my opinion, okay? So I hope you agree with me and following us on YouTube channel. And these are our partners. If you like to do your tax planning for the year end, and we're not politicians, okay? So don't make appointment to talk about politics here. We don't have that time. But we are technical people, so we know how to do your accounting. We know how to save your taxes, and we know what's going on, what is coming up. So when we do your tax planning, we have the next election in mind. We have thinking coming through to know what you should do or may not be able to do, right? And you have our contact information to do your tax planning with us. And our tax planning service is very mature, and not like the companies or places you go. When they do tax planning, they charge you thousands, then they give you 57 pages document and you don't even read. You just felt like, oh wow, it's a lot of paper, so maybe it's worth $3,000. No, our tax planning is 1 page, and we trunk all of your life, your business experience, and your future, this year taxes into 1 page. And if you have that 1 page from us, 8 by 11, you have your future in hand, you know what you need to do. All right, our firm is the only CPA firm open 6 days a week. Yeah, 6 days a week. So you can contact us Monday to Saturday regularly. And subscribe to our channel, and if you like, and give a thumb up, because that gives us confidence that we're doing the right thing. And I hope to see you again on Saturday. And on this Saturday, I forgot about the topic we were going to talk about. I think it's related to the tax planning. I'll let you know on that day. We normally send out the blurbs for you, right, on that day. So just follow me, and I will talk again on Saturday, and on Tuesday I'll bring a campaign-related topic to talk about. Everything is technical, not political. See you.